Welcome to the Curated DJ podcast, your ultimate resource for mobile DJs looking to elevate their game. I'm here to help you tell better stories, master marketing, enhance your social presence, and ultimately book more gigs. I'm your host, Malik Adigan, and in each episode, we'll engage in valuable conversations and share expert insights to boost your mobile DJ business. Because I truly believe that you've got the talent, and I'm here to help you shine and let the world know that. So, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, get ready for a journey of growth, inspiration, and success in the world of mobile DJing. Let's get into this episode.
All right, here we are. Back to business. Oh man, well, thank you guys so much for joining us here on another episode of the Curated DJ podcast. It is my new favorite podcast. Objectively, I'm not saying that because it's my podcast, but it's my new favorite podcast because it is a podcast for DJs who are really good, who are dope, skilled, have a great business, but just have a hard time kind of like telling their story, marketing, social media presence. And so like I've felt this passion to take this journey and help my DJ community tell better stories and make more money and book the clients they actually want. So this is episode 2 probably. And because I want to bring on like different DJs and different branding people. But before we get into those episodes, like I really wanted to bring on my team, the people I partner with to tell the story of whether it's Curated Entertainment or DJ Malik or the Curated DJ, like my creative team that I've been working with for years. And so today, with all that build up, straight from Argentina, off of the boat, train, and plane.
A boat?
No, because you do.
Take a boat?
I got here on a boat too.
You can't take a boat.
You can't take a boat?
No.
I mean,
to Argentina?
Yeah.
I think there are like, I don't know. It would take like a month. I don't know. I don't think you can take a boat.
But it could take a month. Sometimes it takes time. But he's here.
Yes.
Here in Southwest Florida with me here, where our DJ company is based out of. This is Dan Farias, the man behind the camera.
The man behind the camera. The storyteller of the stories. Hey.
I'm reaching over if you can't.
I am.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great.
Well, glad to have you on, man. We know each other from a different context than the creative world. I met you when I was a youth pastor.
Yeah. And
you were a youth pastor.
Indeed.
And you just moved here, right?
Yeah.
Just moved here.
Yeah, I had just moved here from Argentina. And I was just like, I'm just here. I don't know what to do. I got a sponsorship from a church to get me to live here.
Yeah.
And that's how I got my visa to stay here. And
finessed. I said,
I guess.
For the Lord.
For the Lord.
In that paper.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. I love it. It's been a while. It was a long time.
To make a very long story short,
yeah.
Because, I mean, between having good mutual friends and being friends ourselves and family and just the different aspects of life, one of the biggest connections we've had is, I think, this creative synergy always. Whether you do, Dan, if you don't know, you probably don't, he plays drums, he sings, he makes music, he directs things. Like you're a multi-talented human that can do a lot of things. And overall, though, what I love about you is your ability to, one, have taste. I think, like, the base of who I am is like, this is what's good. And this is what's
to know what's good. It's hard to know what's good.
To know what's good.
How do you know what's good? You just know.
It's your ability to look at something and go, turn that this way.
Right.
That's not symmetrical.
Yeah.
This is not this. This color is off. And it's like, like, just to start off, like, because you do a lot of things, but
sure.
That's the thing that's the intangible thing I think you're just really freaking good at. That doesn't sound good. That doesn't look good. What is that?
Yeah. What is that? I don't know. It's just, I think it's seeking perfection in just the things that you love and seeking, like, I don't know if perfection is the word, but like finding something that excellence might be the word. But for me, I just see it everywhere in photography and video and design. Like if it doesn't feel right, like I don't know, if like this camera is like framed and there's a lot of room on top, like it feels weird to me. I don't like it. I need to fix it. It must be fixed, kind of thing. But Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm a creative. Everything I do, I feel like I'm a creative mind, creative everything. Have a hard time with other things, right?
Sure.
Like the being organized, maybe all that stuff, and outsource that. That's great.
Yeah.
And then you just stay within the things that you do.
Try to figure out what
that you do well
and do it, right? Like
right.
But, okay. So I'll just dive right into like what I feel like DJs listening can sort of pull from that, because I think one of the hardest questions is, and that I get is like, Malik, how do you know? Like I want my feed or my website or whatever to look like yours. Like, how do I have to learn how to have taste? Do I have to learn how to see or hear things that look or sound good or whatever? And I think, and you answer, but for me, it's like a little bit of both, right? Like there's this innate intuition that I can just, I was born in New York, so like everything's like, maybe it was from like environment I was around.
Right.
That like, that's not good. This is good. That looks stupid. That looks bad. That looks good. But there's also like this learned ability to go, what is symmetry? Like in photography, the rule of thirds and symmetry, or like clipping and audio, or like color correcting. Right. So
like the details and stuff
so
too.
Obviously there's a technical side of it, but there's also this intuitive side. How do you feel like that balances out?
I think the biggest thing for me also is it's always being curious of what are people doing. Like to be honest, like a lot of the times I just watch a show on Netflix or something like that, just curious on what it looks like what lighting are they using, like what is more than like what the story of the video is, like in the technical sense. Like I'm kind of cursed in that way. Like I go watch a movie and I like I watch the entire thing, I pick out the whole thing, I'm like what was the movie about, and kind of thing. But just I feel like there's a lot of importance in the details too, like of, hey, could you maybe like fold this thing, is like it's popped, your collar's popped, can you fix it?
Right.
It's not. I'm just saying,
because I was
but like
self-conscious,
like even in things like that. So being super curious of what other people are doing, like I want to learn. Like always learning is also a thing, like because you can be incredible at what culture is doing right now, and then 10 years later, if you're still there of like, oh, I was really great at doing that back then you always have to be progressing, learning, like what's happening now.
So
direct flash is happening. Let's go. I can do that. That's cool. And
so willing to abandon what was already cool and what you learned, moving forward and finding something new.
Yeah, I guess. But it also, like, I don't know, I feel like within art and within all that stuff, there's always a little bit of room for your own voice within like the trend, or within what's happening in culture, or within everything. So there's always room for your voice, and if someone sees something you did, you're like, that makes sense that Dan did that, because that's kind of what his stuff is.
Finding yourself in that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because all right. So for example, as far as the Curate Entertainment creative team goes, there's you doing like the very doctored, like curated content, high quality cameras, cinematic storytelling. And
we're planning.
Was it?
We're planning.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
We're mapping it out. And then there's Taylor, who runs our social media. She comes at it from like a very like quick, trendy, real format, strategy. Here's what's going to get the most clicks. Here's what's going to get the most likes. And so we're kind of in the middle of like, I love what you do, and I understand the importance of what she does. And I go, okay, we got to kind of find the middle ground. Yeah. And so like, I don't know. I think, what do you feel like is the most consumed type of content online when it comes to quality? Because sometimes I feel like the quality doesn't necessarily get the views. It's the content-y, strategic stuff.
It really is. Even though it might hurt my heart a little bit, it is about the content. It is about how someone can see a piece of content and feel like, I want to comment on this. I want to share this with my buddies. Right. We all have like the group of like 7, maybe less, maybe 2, 3 guys that we send this stuff to. Like, oh, I got to send this to my guy. And or I got to comment on this, or I have to react to this. But a lot of the times, since there is so much of regular iPhone footage, all of a sudden you see something that's like, what? Wow. This is like a movie on my phone in vertical. Like, it's made for me.
Right.
and then you see that, and there's also like an aspect of like, this is like a wow aspect to that. And I mean, if it's engaging enough, then you're good. Right. You know, you might run into the problem that, oh wow, that was good, and people now expect me to do this all the time, though. You know, which it's cool if that's your thing.
But Dan, that's how we operate, bro.
Right.
Like, we create dope shit, and then the next moment we're like, all right, what's next? Like,
right.
Like, I remember there was it was a Kanye interview, and they were just like talking about his Grammys and what he's won. Kanye can be erratic, but he was just like, I don't even care about what I have amnesia about, everything I've ever done. I don't.
Wow. Yeah.
But to me, like, I'm only competing with the last thing I did.
Sure.
And I'm looking to others for inspiration. I'm looking to others to see where culture is, or to see where style is, or right? I'm being curious. I look at someone's page, I'll go scroll down and go, if they got like 1 million followers, I want to know why. I want to know what are they
doing right.
And I think every DJ that's listening, or every creator that's listening, needs to take on this, not looking at your competition to compare and contrast, but if someone's doing something successful, being able to pick out a part and go, what's in that? What's in that recipe? What did they put on that steak? They put a little salt, but trying to find the flavors of what made that viral, like successful. And like you said, like, all right, I'm going to try putting this seasoning in mine, not copying the recipe, but like, I'm going to figure out the elements of that. I mean, how would you suggest, kind of building on that, how would you suggest like DJs who want to start maybe getting more taste or getting into the conversation more, like, what do you suggest they do, like, to build on that?
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to look at a lot of Instagram accounts, a lot of DJs. I mean, you included, like, with like, just look out. It doesn't have to be DJs. Like, it could be, you just sent me the other day some like Vogue stuff. Like, look at these photos on Vogue, bro. These are great. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Let's do something like that. Like, let's let that inspire us to, like, include that within what we're doing. And so, like, one can draw inspiration from loads of things. Like, art is everywhere. Like, inspiration is everywhere. And so look at seeing someone that's winning. Okay, cool. What are they doing? Right. Again, going back to what I was saying, like, learning. We're all learning, and we're taking. And a lot of the times I see, like, even accounts that are more like teaching accounts and stuff like that, like, sure, listen to what they're saying, but like, see what they're doing, like, with their content. Like, what are they doing though? Yeah,
what are they doing?
Right? Like, what are they posting? Like, how are they posting? When are they posting? Like, all that stuff. Like, what does their setup look like? What mic do they have? Why does it sound so great? Like, what is going on around all that? And constantly being like a student of all that stuff is what I would say. And find inspiration from whatever, like, you think it's awesome, whatever is working, whatever is cool and you enjoy, whether it's a DJ, a band, an artist, like, whatever, illustrator. Yeah,
I think I just think that I'm just put my mind to the DJs that are like, I don't even have time to, like, do all the things. Like, I run a business, do this part-time. Yeah. Like, I have to do all my gigs. I have a multi-op with other DJs. Like, I don't have time to go, like, I'm focused on, like, profit and building my craft. I don't necessarily have time to be, like, the creative director of this whole thing, or the social media manager. And I kind of got to the place where I did that. Like, because I was, I would hit up Dan sometimes, but for the most part, like, I was just doing content on my own. And then at some point I was like, I need, like, I'm good at this, but I have other things I want to worry about. Yeah. That'll drive the business forward. Sure. And if I spend 20 hours editing this video, it's 20 hours I could have done 10 sales calls, sure. Right?
10 other things.
I got to a place where I was like, let me like outsource. Sure. And hire. And that's one of the hardest parts, is like, when should I hire out to get someone to do the thing? Yeah. Like, can you speak to that at all? Like, in your, like, I mean, it's kind of like I guess you're on the opposite end of it. Like, I hired you to do all this stuff. Yeah. But, like, at some point I just felt like I'm just
Yeah.
the time versus the money, just became.
Sure. I mean, yeah. And it also, it comes down to like your priorities of like, okay, I could edit this right now and it can take me 20 hours to edit it. I can edit stuff, or I'm just speaking as you, right? Like I can edit stuff or whatever. That same video can take me 2 hours to edit, right? And I can not only edit that one, but I can also edit like 6 more videos that you want to do that you want to post that week or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's also being efficient in that sense of like, okay, not only am I not editing 20 hours, but I'm also like receiving all this other like content to be able to post and also you're nurturing this like relationship with another creative that, and like we'll be able to work and understand each other more. Like nowadays with you, like you send me like 3 texts saying I need this, that, and it's just like 3 texts and I have to formulate, what does this mean? What does this man want?
Yeah.
But it takes a long time to kind of understand each other, and sometimes I don't, and I'm like, yo, send me 3 things, 3 photos, or 3 like whatever that inspire, that you love. And as soon as you send me that, I'm like, I get it. That's what you need.
Okay, so then fine. How about this?
Yeah.
There's a DJ listening who wants to hire a videographer for maybe a couple gigs or just to get some content.
Yeah.
How would you suggest from a videographer perspective, like that they communicate what they need and want? And like, how do they help them communicate the vision to the videographer?
Sure. So first of all, you need to understand your vision, period. Like you can't just call a videographer and say, hey, just shoot stuff. What does that mean? Like, okay, do you want me to use a gimbal? Do you want me to do handheld stuff? Do you want me to use like direct lighting on people? Like, can I shoot there? Is there another videographer? So there's tons of questions that we need to answer before.
Where do they start?
I would say start with finding a person that is teachable, first of all. Finding someone that's teachable, someone that is that you can say, hey, could you do this? Or like, why don't we do this a little different so it can look like this or whatever. So someone can understand your vision in the sense of, can you do something differently rather than then coming in, it's my vision as a videographer, right? So make sure it's someone that's teachable. Also, be able to, watch a bunch of videos, send them videos. Hey, can you do this?
Send them inspire, like,
okay, this is cool. Can you do something like that? But maybe like this, that's a little more me.
Sometimes we say things like, I just want this to be cool.
Yeah, I want it to be fire.
I want it to be
so much fire.
Modern.
What does it mean?
Send them a video. And tell them what you liked about the video.
Yes.
I love the way it was edited. I love the music. And it
doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be someone else's highlight video. It can literally be, yo, see this music video?
Right.
Like this part, like something like that.
Right.
Can we do that? And maybe he can't do that. Maybe it's like, oh, well, that is a giant dolly that's coming from the ceiling whatever.
Yeah.
And you might not be able to do that, but whatever. At least you understand, and they understand what kind of the expectations are and what they can or cannot do. And then from there, more logistics, it's like, okay, cool. They have a videographer in that event or that wedding or that whatever it is that they're doing. We got to let them know that somene's coming to shoot as well. And that's more like kind of logistic stuff.
Yeah, you gotta. Stuff. Yeah, especially with weddings, you gotta let the planner know, the videographer that might be there already know. I mean, so as a videographer, do you, if you're just doing a wedding with some like a group of vendors, and the DJ ask you for footage and stuff, like what's the etiquette for you? Like, is that annoying? Like, how does that work?
Just so people know, I also shoot weddings.
Yeah, he also shoots weddings and does photo for weddings.
Yeah. So for me, I'm different in that sense. I don't baby footage. I'm like, yo, send me a Dropbox and you're good kind of thing. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. I just don't really care that much. Kind of like the Kanye thing, like, whatever. I already shot this. It's done.
Yeah, it's already.
Especially in all my contracts and all that, like the footage is mine. So I have full like ownership of everything. So for me, it's very easy to just say, yeah, here you go. Here's my footage. Here's the footage. You can go ahead and do whatever you want. But then, That's the hardest part, though. Like,
like
you can send them whatever, and then they're like, okay,
if you have a better relationship with the DJ, you're more prone to one.
Oh yes,
right? Like
100%.
Random guy being like, yo, dog, give me that video, upload it to the cloud.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Your day and give it to me.
I've had all of that happen. Yeah, and sometimes maybe the guy was like a little rude. I still send it to him, but I took like 3 months.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
No, man, I'm big on like I'm big on nurturing relationships between vendors. Whether or not I need something from them, it's just like that's the experience I want to create for everyone that touches our business. But I also understand I want to have a good rapport with you before I ask for anything.
Sure.
Like, just
super important.
You know,
and you're like, yo, I got that aux ready for you.
Oh yeah.
I got that thing. Hey, I'm not gonna do the toast until you're good to go.
Hey,
like
all that
ready. Stuff is
man,
great.
Go eat your vendor meal. I'm not gonna do any speeches. Don't worry.
We're
I got
good.
You.
Yeah.
Because by the end of the night, when I'm DJing and spinning, I want you to be bought into like, yo, this guy's dope. I'm gonna film him. And I'll send him video. Like now we get to the point where
and at that point you get excited and you're like, I'm gonna make this footage
I'm gonna make it good. Instead of like, I'll take one picture of you.
Like whatever. No. This footage is gonna look dope. Like, I would say like if you have that kind of connection with with a vendor, videographer, whatever, like a DJ, you get more excited and you're like, how can I make this the coolest footage I can possibly get?
Nurture those relationships.
Yeah.
Well, before we get out of here, man, one of the other things I love about you as a person and then what you do creatively is that you're just a person of presence. Like you show up and you feel your way and live your way, yourself very present around people.
Sure.
And you're tapped into like the story and the narrative and everything. And you really do a good job of doing that with your films and with your music. And so like, what do you feel like as a storyteller, a visual storyteller, and is like the good elements of story that you like to capture? Like what makes a good story to you? Ooh. Because I think that's one of the things that DJs we forget to do when we're online is we just post dancing, mixing. But like, I think story captures your client's attention better too. So
I don't know. I'm weird with story stuff. To me, obviously, something that moves you, something that kind of resonates inside of you. I'm also a very like emotional person in the sense of like, bro, like I have like you have played some songs that I'm like, and it's like a lit song, but I'm like feeling it, right? So for me, I don't know. So when it comes to like content and video and all that, it's just trying to tap into people's like emotional, like I don't know.
That's it right there, though.
That's that what when you can touch that little like emotional part of your heart, and you're like, wow, that makes me feel more things that I can't explain, kind of thing. But
I heard that. I love this quote, and this is like one of the things I preach to all DJs who are trying to get better at that, telling their stories. Like, people don't remember what you do. They don't remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel, how you made them feel in the interaction.
100%.
And feeling is where the story lives. Feeling is what a brand is. Brands make you feel something. I say Apple, you feel something. When I say Walmart, you go, there's right?
You feel scared.
Good branding makes you feel something.
Yeah.
And so and every brand makes someone feel something.
Right.
So the goal is,
what is your brand doing? Like, what is it making people feel when they think about your brand?
Feel.
That's cool.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe as a DJ, because we're just super focused on DJs, right?
Yeah.
If you don't believe that as a DJ, you're doing more than just DJing, then no one else is going to believe that. And people like low-key want to believe that you're the right person for the job, for the best day of their life, or this monumental moment.
Yeah.
And so it starts with you believing, right? Like Deion Sanders, do you believe, right? Like, do you believe that you are here on this earth to change someone's life? And if so, how?
Right.
And how?
Because at that point, it's not about how good I can mix two songs. It's about how can you take all of us to that next level, to that like moment where everyone's jumping, everyone's looking at each other, pointing at you and going, You did it.
You did it because you spent your whole life looking for the love of your life, and you found him, and you've been through so much stuff, and we just need the perfect DJ to capture that with audio and visual and lighting.
Yeah, man.
Like, that is what you're doing.
That's what you're doing.
Until you believe that, I don't believe that you're gonna have a brand that makes someone feel something. Because if you don't feel it, how the hell is someone else gonna feel it?
100%.
And I just love that. You know, I have a good team of people that like lean into that, and I think you are someone that does a really good job of making.
Appreciate it,
you've
bro.
made our clients feel great feelings since
I try
you've
my
been
best.
rocking with us.
I try my best.
But no, thank you. Thank you for coming on and having this conversation, man. Like, I feel like we could talk about it all day. But I really want to make these podcasts like short and sweet and to the point.
Short and sweet.
Helpful. You know, I want to add value very quickly. And you get on with your day. So Dan, before you go,
what's up?
You want to say anything to the people listening at all?
I got nothing to say, man.
Cool, man.
I got nothing. No. No, I mean, it's important to connect with people.
Yeah.
That's super important. And that's how you're going to have your business, like, connect with a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you can know how to connect with them, with their desires, the things that they want, and also what your brand can make them feel, it's important. People are important.
People, connection.
Yeah.
Start there. Branding flows, marketing flows, sales flows. It starts from there, right?
It's all gravy.
It's all gravy. Biscuits and gravy. Well, Dan, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you. You are literally going to go edit this. So
literally editing.
You could literally take out anything that you didn't like. It's not fair, but
I love it.
I appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do with us. And thank you guys for watching another episode of the Curated DJ podcast. We really appreciate you. Please keep listening. Let us know your feedback. You want us to talk about something or, have a guest on, let us know in the comments or DM us on Instagram. But appreciate you guys. See you next time.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.